what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, I don't know where you've been, C-Lens, but we here. Thank you for hanging out with us on this Saturday morning, man. It's a race day Saturday morning. I'm feeling great. We out here at the Nebraska Furniture Mart. We're on the patio, taking in some scenery. It's race weekend. Kansas Speedway is where it's happening. C-Lens, you ready for this weekend, man?
I'm ready, but I'm a little nervous. First NASCAR event, but I hear it's fun.
Yeah,
it's a lot to look at, so I'm just ready to take it all in.
Yeah, my first NASCAR race, I think it was 2016, I believe, maybe 2016, maybe 2015. But man, it's definitely gets crazy. I don't know if you guys can hear in the background. They're starting like to rev up their engines and things. The first race is in about 30 minutes at 11:30. So yeah, it's going to be crazy today.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm ready to see some and all that. I'm ready to see it.
You think you could drive a NASCAR?
Oh no, I can't drive a regular car. No, I'm good. What about you? You think you can hit one of them corners?
I think I could. So when I did, this was. They first built the Speedway. They had like where you can go out, like see the Speedway tour. Where they had some cars. So they had like Toyota Camry out there where they would drive you around the track.
Yeah.
And so I was in one of the Toyota Camrys, not driving, just as a passenger with a former driver. I don't remember who it was. But they're on the track. Like, you don't know this, but on the track there, of course, they have straightaways. And then when you get to there's like some lines.
Mm-hmm.
The racer, like, all right, if you take this line, you can go straight and it'll veer you up into the corner. So that way you don't even have to you turn your wheel a little bit, but not much. Like the way that the track is designed, if you're going straight, it'll just veer you up into the turn, and then not towards the wall, but it'll make you turn, and then you just keep hitting it.
So basically, Jesus taking the wheel.
Jesus taking the wheel. But that's why they don't like brake.
Yeah.
You don't really see a NASCAR driver braking. They all just like bumper to bumper. And that's because the way the track is designed is to make you like go up in. So if you're on 435 and you're going around at 70, just try it one day.
Boy, who you think I am?
Just try it. Like, just hit the gas and just let it rip.
That Jeep Renegade can go like this, man.
All right, man. We got a lot to talk about on today's show. How was your week, man?
Man, it was great. Just experienced some more bipolar Kansas City weather.
Oh yeah.
And just had a good week. Nothing too crazy happened. How was your weekend? Or how was your week?
It was good, man. I didn't do much. Just kind of worked on some content a little bit, and then of course Thursday we did Destiny Spurlock, who is the first African American driving ARCA series with NASCAR. So we over at the Ford dealership, Ford, out by the Legends, and then she had a VIP like welcome party that she did Thursday evening it's called The Pitch, which is a coffee shop owned by the KC Curran girls. or ladies. And so that's where she had her event, and all the current soccer players were there, and a few media members. And
I seen they gave her a jersey, right?
They did. They gave her a jersey, which is pretty dope. And a lot of people showed up for it. She had a welcome to Kansas City. The mayor, she had a proclamation from the city council. She had on both sides of the state line. She had on the Missouri side, she had a it was Destiny Spurlock Day.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You know, that's something I do agree with, because the last person who got a day.
What was it, young boy?
Yeah. What are we doing? But yeah, this is more fitting. I like this because she's doing something that a lot of other people can't say they have done.
Exactly.
So,
and if you guys have a chance, look up Destiny Spurlock, who will be racing today. Look her up. She's dragged. She's done motorcycle races. She's done pretty much everything, man. We talked. We're at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And she's real cool then. And like, hey, you know, I just started the ARCA. I will be starting the ARCA series. Like, hey, yeah, can't. Show me some love when I come. I'm like, yeah, we'll show you. So we definitely.
They have a routine.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how different it is, like for race car drivers, like what the routine could be.
Yeah.
They have to be very superstitious, though.
Of course, I mean, I would imagine every athlete is superstitious.
Yeah.
Like some guys. Teeth, the way you put your right sock on every day before you put your left sock on. You make sure you don't put your shoe on before you put your right. Like, it's so many different things to it. I think Patrick Holmes that one time that didn't change his he wore the same underwear throughout the season until they lost. He put the same underwear. Now I think he washed them. I did be washing them. I don't know if anybody. I believe he washed it. Like some people say they won't change. They wear the same socks over and over and over again until they lose.
Pat, get a pass. That's my pass.
All right. Coming up in about 25 minutes, we'll have the Vice President of Diversity and Inclusion for NASCAR, Brandon Thompson, be joining us, talking about why he's here in Kansas City, and it's talking about the diversity and inclusion with NASCAR. So we'll have him up in about 25 minutes. Let's get to today's headlines.
Now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. Every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
All right, Kansas City Chiefs GM Brett Veach spoke on Thursday morning, and he said that they are anticipating an entertaining first round of the 2026 NFL Draft with a lot. Brett Veach spoke on Thursday ahead of the draft, and I'll be honest, if grades across the draft are all of them, there's like a minimal separation between all the guys. Do you agree with that?
I don't know if I agree with that, but everything else he said, I can see happening. I feel like it's going to be a very crazy draft. I feel like it might be the most trades in the first round we've ever seen. Like people are trying to get in that top 5.
Yeah.
Because there's so many heavy hitters in that top 5, top 7, top 10 range. But I've been hearing a lot about, I think, that tackle from Utah, Spencer Fennell, yeah. I've been hearing a lot, like hearing him connected to the Chiefs a lot. But honestly, I'm very anxious to see what happens in this draft. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can definitely see a lot of trades happening in that first round.
Yeah. I can agree. I think I saw on some news releases this early this week that talked about how Dallas has 2 first rounds and they're part ways with those to move up.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, hey, we'll give you our 2 first rounders for your number 9. Would you give that up?
So then that means you would have
3 first rounders.
3. Okay, because
would that be crazy?
Where are there 2 first?
I think they're at 14, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're at 14 and they're like 21 or something.
14 and 20. That's honestly bad. And they're in the NFC, so it's not like you're really helping.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would. They're at number 12. The Dallas has the number 2 pick, and they have the 20th.
Oh yeah, I'm saying that yesterday.
What? So I mean, it's just if the draft and I listened to Brett Veach talk on Thursday, and he just kind of talked about what he's learned from the past drafts, and the question was asked about the protection of Patrick Mahomes. And he kind of brought that up when they talked about drafting Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons, like he mentioned EB coming back and how much they'll have to run the ball now. And I feel like they understand that they're going to have to run the ball just because, the first quarter of the season, Mahomes,
getting back into the
he'll
groove.
be getting back into the groove of it. Yeah.
I also seen, obviously, when it's off season, there's a lot of rumors and insider air quotations, but I seen if Jeremiah Love is still not picked by 9, that the Chiefs could still snag him. Honestly, I love, like, a lot of people already have Jeremiah Love ranked as like a top running back, and he's not even in the league yet. Yeah. I feel like that was a crazy backfield, but at the same time, like, I think just prioritizing protecting Pat is like the main thing, but also getting him another weapon. It's like they have a lot they can do. So that Dallas trade not be that bad because you can kill birds with 3 stones in the first round.
Yeah. And Brett Veach also said this isn't one of those types of drafts where you got 2 or 3 franchise quarterbacks at the top. He said no Myles Garrett, no Will Anderson type. There's no clear separation. Let me ask you this: at number 9, are you protecting Patrick Mahomes, or are you going for defense? Are you going to get like an offensive lineman type, or are you going to get someone on a defensive line or linebacker?
I think defensively, the number 1 guy on their draft board has to be Ruben Bain. I feel like if he's there at 9, they have to take him. But if he's not there, I think the next best thing would be to protect or get protection for Pat. But I don't know. I feel like it's like so hard. This is like the draft where I'm like, I literally don't know what's going to happen. Like, I feel like you have an idea sometimes, but this one I'm like, I have no idea what a lot of teams are going to do. Like,
yeah. And
as a Raiders,
and I think I would say this. Brett Veach was asked about Ruben Bain and asked about, the incident that happened a couple years back. He was in college, the car accident, and he said they often look into, how he was asked when did they find out about it? Well, they started looking into Ruben Bain, early on last season, beginning of last season, because of course he said he talks to a lot of his scouts during training camp in St. Joe. He said before training camp gets over with, before the college season starts, we always talk about like who are the guys to look to in the upcoming draft or in college, and that's who we're going to scout, throughout the season. So he said once they did that, they always look at the character issues of guys, and they looked into it. So he didn't really go into detail on what they found or anything like that, but he did say, we want to bring guys here that makes sense and that can fit in. And you got to look at Andy Reid, his guys that he's drafted, and guys that he's brought into his system. And he's brought in some character guys. He really has. And I mean, you think about guys like Michael Vick. Let's start there. He brought in Michael Vick after he was released from jail for dogfighting. He brought in Tyreek Hill after he had some character things at Oklahoma.
Even Kelsey, for real. I mean, he had to call his brother to
Yep.
Is he gonna come here and work? Is he gonna be dialed in? And I just think that Andy Reid, like he has a good eye for talent, but he also, I think he's more. Is it crazy to say, like, I feel like he's trying to make some of these guys better men first before a better football player?
He always says that too.
Because, like, there's like a list of guys that have had character issues, but once they come and they play under him, like, a lot of that, those character issues are out the window. They start to, carry themselves as grown men, as they should. So I think Andy Reid, I think he's just a great guy. He's a great coach to have. I think we have good problems with this draft. And honestly, even on the defensive side as well, like I feel like whichever guy they end up with, I feel like they're going to be in the perfect situation for them coming to this team, because on both sides of the ball, it's great leadership.
Yeah, so, I mean, Thursday is the day. And he said one of the things that Brett Veach also said was that Chiefs fans will be very surprised about this, very surprised or excited about this draft.
And that means we got all 10 first, all 10 picks, man.
And the other thing that I noticed that he was talking about was that, there's 250 guys, or he said that there's 125 guys that they have on their draft board. And then they line them up, and 1 through 15 are the guys that they really, 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 really want. My question to Brett Veach is going to be, after the draft, I'm like, how many of those 15 guys did you get that were on your board? Did you get? Because if they strike gold and be able to get, let's say they get 9 out of 15, I think they've done. Or you only got 9 picks, but if they just get out of those 9 picks, let's say they get 7 of those that they really want.
Out of the 15?
Out of the 9, because they only have 9, but they have 15 guys on their board that they really want. So that way, if you can't get 1 through 9, then you're going to look at 10 through 15. And so I would say if you can get 7 of those guys, even 7 out of 9 picks, if they hit, I think Chiefs are in good position. Oh
yeah, I agree. And I also wonder if they keep like a percentage of that, like the 15 guys that they want. I wonder if they've been successful at getting all the guys that they want.
That's a good question.
Last year.
Yeah.
But
that's a great question. Just the percentage of out of on your board, your top 10 guys.
Yeah.
What percentage of those?
What's your success rate?
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a cool stat to track, because they track everything nowadays. So.
Yeah. All right. Diana Rossini. She's resigned from Athletic after photos with Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel investigation. So we talked a little bit about this last week. Veteran NFL reporter Diana Rossini has resigned from the Athletic on Tuesday after an investigation following the emergence of images of her and New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel, she announced Tuesday. So the images, which were originally published by the New York Post, feature Rossini and Vrabel holding hands and sitting in a hot tub together at a luxury hotel in Arizona. So Rossini released a full copy of her resignation letter Tuesday to the Athletic's executive editor, Stephen Ginsburg, on X. So a few days after the statement, however, the New York Times, which owns the Athletic, confirmed Rossini's conduct was being investigated by the Athletic. Rossini was reportedly taken off reporting duty during the investigation, per the New York Times. So both the Athletic and New York Times require journalists to avoid activities that could pose as a conflict of interest or appearance of a conflict, per their own editorial guidelines.
I think she was just getting ahead of being fired.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like with Vrabel, you just had a great season, just came off a Super Bowl loss, but you by no means had a bad season this year. You ended off on a sour note, but it was still a good note at the same time, because you turned them from, 4 wins to Super Bowl runner-ups. I don't know if you needed this. This is off-season drama. I mean, I don't think he's gonna get fired, but it's just unnecessary drama. But as far as her, uh, it's probably a lot of this going on behind the scenes. It's just you chose Arizona of all places. I mean, you should have went out the country at that point.
Yeah, she saved face basically by what she did. I think when you really look at it and you look at, what happened and what's out there in the media. Somebody took a picture of them in a hot tub. Like, they took a picture of y'all holding hands. Like, and what they said was, or what she said was, there were more people that were there, and it was kind of like a girls' trip sort of thing, and girls hanging out, and they just happened. Of course, that was the coaches. Every year, the coaches have this kind of they have coaches meetings.
Yeah.
Where all the coaches get together and in a different city, and they just go over things, and they have owners meetings as well. And so when you look at that, you look at just I look at the total of the whole thing, and I'm like, all right, this really is talking about your credibility here. Like, maybe some of the stories that you talked about, where did you get that information from? Because if when there's smoke, there's fire, and I definitely feel like there was some type of fire. And she was just they allow her because of how long she's been in the business. Sometimes when you've been in a certain business for so long, and you do have some type of respect, as especially in journalism, they're gonna look out for you a little bit. Hey, we're firing you, but we're going to allow you to save face and give your resignation. And I feel like that's what they allowed her to do.
Yeah. I really wonder who the person is that took the photos. I wonder if it was like they had ran into like a fan or someone in the media. If at that point, if you ran into someone who knows who you are, leave.
Yeah.
You don't even want to be seen walking side by side that person, because you already know what people like to post photos or just vague things and let other people just make assumptions.
Make
so
opinion.
I don't think it was smart on either of their ends, but a part of me, I wonder if the New York Times or The Athletic knew about it, but were just like, hey, if you get caught, we not taking a hit for this.
Well, you talk about knowing about it. So there was a NFL reporter, Chrissy Freud, who was fired from USA Today after criticizing Rossini for Mike Vrabel photos. So reporter Chrissy Freud, she was fired from her position at the USA Today after she publicly celebrated Diana Rossini's resignation from The Athletic over her photo scandal, which with Patriots coach Mike Vrabel. So she basically came out and said, hey, we knew about this. Everybody knew that this type of person you were. So if she's going to come out and say that, then there is no secret to what she's been doing.
I think she also said, like, this is why she said something along the lines of like, this is why women in sports like have trouble or aren't taken seriously. She said something like that because of situations like this. She was like, this kind of gives the women in sports a bad look, what you just did. And I don't think she should have got fired, but at the same time, she did kind of like, she was very direct. Like, there was no subtweet in there. She was very direct. And I don't think she was like trying to be malicious or like anything like that. I just think like she was frustrated. Like, now, like, there's going to be like a spotlight under all of us, all the other women in sports. Like, they're going to think we're trying to, cheat our way to the top or, be the first to break a story by doing XYZ. Like, I feel like she was looking at it from that perspective. I don't think there was like a personal vendetta. So I don't think she should have been fired, but she's not wrong at the same time. She's not wrong.
Yeah. It's interesting though that you have a young lady who comes out and says like, this is what she came out and said, like, hey, this is what we know. We know that this is the type of person that you are. We know that XYZ, and she doubled down on it too. She was like, hey, I understand this, so therefore I'm gonna double down on it. So I really wasn't too surprised about it. If you just think, in the media landscape, to be honest, there's so many other women in media that have come out and said, hey, you know, we kind of stand behind Diana Rossini. Yeah, I mean, there was some other women that came out and said, you know, they're using that. She shouldn't have put herself in that kind of situation.
Yeah. Well, let's nip that one in the bud. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Coming up, like I said, we're here broadcasting live from Nebraska Furniture Mart. It's race weekend.
With the crew, where wing isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live. FM.
Hang out at the race. There's going to be a lot going on. There's some vendors that you can stop by and see at the race. Also, make sure you stop by Nebraska Furniture Mart, which is where we are right here inside of Tanger at the Legend. So we have a familiar face back with us on the W Show. It's been a minute, but he's continuing to make an impact at one of the highest levels in NASCAR. He's the Vice President of Diversity and Inclusion for NASCAR, helping shape not just the future of the sport, but who gets the opportunity to be a part of it as well. Yeah, Brandon Thompson joining us. That. How you doing, man?
I appreciate you having me back on. It's good to be here. It's been a long time. I think we talked about that yesterday a little bit since I've been back to Kansas. So a lot has gone on.
Of course,
the last time I've been back, man. But I'm digging it. But I would say on a day-to-day basis is really about breaking down some of the walls and barriers to entry. Fan standpoint, whether it means someone enter through a career opportunity or in